the moment you've been waiting for.
Don't argue with them. Better bounce. I'm telling you, these brains ain't adding out. Niggas dropping out of high school. They don't even sell dope. They be using food. Guns bigger than their body size. Come out looking for a homicide. Taking out their own. Don't care who they shooting. Probably ain't even looking because the dope cooking. And the insides got them fried out. Still living at their mom house. Trying to pimp the woman that they had kids with. Getting her locked up with some bullshit. Ain't even working a 9 to 5 trying to strive. Be out here telling kids trying to die. The wrong thing, up on the wrong swing. They don't even act the age, they be acting crazy. Touching people way, way, way younger than. I ain't ever remember all this pedo shit, but it's out pop locking and it's non-stopping. Y'all better wake up and peep out your options. Get the fuck out the room, cause when these YNs act up, yo, you doomed. They don't worry about nothing, even the repercussion. Going to the pen, acting dumber than the biggest fool. Even life is shaking their heads like, look at these. YNs try again. I wouldn't do that because they pop gats, big guns. They don't give a fuck. They ain't even got no mind to listen to or follow. Shit, they on the solo. Getting knowledge from TV and promos. I feel sorry for them, but if you come at me, I kill all of them. I'm just letting you know the truth. Don't argue with the youth. Just get the fuck out of Dodge because they ain't caring who they shoot. They taking the life, but just want you to improvise and think, pause, strategize. Just you gotta don't waste time. Get the fuck out. You gotta head out. Yo. Peace and blessings, everybody. Yeah. I just had to air out something real quick. But yeah, man. So man, they've been playing you. You know, I put the Martin episode situation up because, you know, I personally feel it's these smart dumb niggas. That's how I feel. I feel it's the smart dumb ones that have been like keeping us on a fool's mission, and it's just not helping in the end. You know what I'm saying? And to all the smart ones out there, I already know y'all on some Iago shit.
Oh, there's a big surprise. That's an incredible. I think I'm gonna have a heart attack and die from that surprise.
I know. And it's pitiful, man. It really is. But you know what? At least we can get our wisdom. Let us get smart. If everybody else gonna play dumb and they don't want to learn nothing, fuck them. So when it comes to exposing things, you know, a few videos ago I discussed how these people work together. Same mofos. Excuse me. They work together. They're a team. And bringing destruction. I want here we go. All right. Hold on. All right. Let's check out something real quick.
Please, dude, I said no. Literally have the sex trafficking line.
Get up. Get
on
up.
my
We're not
phone.
talking. Get up.
I'm not trying to anyone, please. I literally said no. Can you grab my shoe?
Move.
So this BLMer's denying anything.
35-year-old Aston Mack, BLM activist, worked with challenged children in Orlando, claimed to me that he had the sex trafficking hotline number on his phone in his pocket, was just going to help this girl out. But the texts tell a very different story.
So, so first off, not saying that it originally started that way, but really I can, because seeing how, you know, BLM was started by 3 homosexual women. 3 lesbians started this. So for him to be into, you know, a BLM activist or like a leader of one of their divisions or something, for him to be, you know, on some child sex trafficking or molesting shit, it's not too far-fetched. I know people, they'll say, well, you know, that's not right for you to mix gay with like pedophilia, but it's always around y'all. It's always around you. It is what it is. You know, people don't want to see the correlation. Fine. But I got something else I want to show you. I'm gonna show you something. Because, you know, you talk about them murdering the black babies, and, you know, during slavery time, cut the stomach open, and, you know, drop the step on the head. All right. I'm not knocking these you know, statements or nothing. I'm not even gonna say that, you know, they never happened. I'm not saying that. I'm saying, look who we listening to tell us about these type things. This is the other thing I want to show you.
In the name of Jesus, watch out, get hurt. You're going to get hurt. In the name of Jesus, stop. Hey, bow down. Get hurt. Jesus, Lord, bow down. Don't touch me. Turn around. Put your hands behind your back. Next time you touch me, you're going to die. Next time you touch me, you're going to die. Turn around. Put your hands behind your back. I'm a preacher, right? And I ain't trying to be nobody anymore. Right? I'm not trying to be nobody anymore.
We saw the video footage of him tackling the police officer, stealing his taser, then stealing his car. I mean, come on.
This is why we all fucked up. This is why we all messed up out here. You know what I'm saying? I told you guys, the Boule. No. You guys already know that. I told you guys, the pro-blacks and Pan-Africans, they work for the Boule. That's where they come from. Anybody who knows original people on Earth, they know they're not racist. How did the white dude get to do business with either side? How did the conquistador get to do business? If we're such, you know, racist people, how are we infiltrated? And it's not like we could have killed them at the shore. They never got in. Oh, you know, the ancestors were weak. We gotta be strong. How y'all gonna say that when there's not a black person inside of the Aryan Brotherhood, but there's white Crips, there's white Bloods? Why is that? Why is it not okay for a black person to join a white gang who's going to predominantly have white enemies? Because, you know, white on white crime doesn't exist. They won't allow you to put your hands on their people. But you would jump one of them in to kill one of yours. Back up. Black power. How not? People like Umar Johnson, Q Butters and all that, they see what black people do. They be vouching for strangers on TV. People that don't even know in real life, this nigga really could be guilty. He really could be dirty. They'll vouch for that. But they know that black people are corrupt right now and killing each other. And I'm saying it's not the white man's fault. The white man's not even close enough to you to do this to you. It's his hired hands. But his hired hands look like this. It's you. See, they using you to kill yourself. That's why y'all got all these big ass guns that y'all know y'all can't afford. Y'all cannot make. How are you getting them? You guys know the new feds or ex-CIA member has already admitted that they have blackface masks that they wear. They be starting these wars for you guys, and y'all just finish it up. But who started these gangs? That just so happened take the same colors that were already introduced to you. The red, white, and blue. Okay, you're blue, you're red. It's weird. Y'all didn't even have it. Like, there's so many different colors in the spectrum. Y'all couldn't pick any other color. Those would be the two ones that blew up. And y'all both would be going to see a white judge to be thrown away or wrapped in a white sheet. Interesting. There's no way that radical revolutionary blacks can be a benefit to, first of all, anybody, because you're radical. Even Muslims in today's time, it's crazy that this is happening. Even Muslims are starting to call out their radical Muslims. They're starting to see it. Okay. You got level-headed Democrats calling out radical Democrats. You got Republicans that have been checked, extreme right-wingers and stuff. They've been checked them. You know what I'm saying? Trump disassociated himself with the Klan and neo-Nazis right in front of everybody. So it seems like people are picking a side in this time. And it's not race-based. It's intelligence. See, this thing is starting to it's starting to entrapment itself. It's starting to entrap itself. Because Umar Johnson always makes his videos on somebody else's, podcast or outside of the school. You're never seeing him teaching a classroom. He has not, like, even his cousins and nephews, like, they're not even supporting him. There's no family around him, nobody. That's kind of spooky. I don't care what nobody says. Umar Johnson is spooky as hell because he's had that yellow building for a while now. And you never see him in it. He's always making the videos outside. Like, if maybe he doesn't even own it. Oh. Maybe at a time in history, maybe being pro-black was a good thing. And I think I know when it was. I think it's when you guys were segregated. That's when being pro-black was a good thing. When you guys weren't connected to other groups. But ever since you have been, your radicals don't do enough damage to the person that they're always talking about for you to make like an imprint. And since most of them have hurting black people in their background, see, most revolutionaries cannot say they grew up helping more blacks than hurting blacks. Most of them can't say that because most people that claim to be revolutionary, they go from the way I told you in the Tupac hoax review. You know, you go from thug to revolutionary. It makes sense for you to not be awake and then wake up. That makes sense. But to go from revolutionary to thug, and that's what it seems like a lot of these people do. Because only a thug's going to riot. Only a thug's going to act radical and let their emotions get the best of them. How can a general be emotional? Remember, these are revolutionaries. They're talking about war. Well, in war, in order to conduct, construct, and to be victorious, you would have to be level-headed. You're going to have to be an extreme strategist to beat a war. Because war is just not hand-to-hand combat. There's all different types of things that are going on in a war. There's spies, there's sneak attacks, there's all different types of things that are happening in a war. So if these revolutionaries know that there's spies in war, and then they're going to talk about all these agents, but wait a minute, you guys are the agents. Like, how could you say that? How are these revolutionaries so smart and so pro-black and so pan-African that they know nothing about what they've done? Why would you still be talking about Malcolm and Martin? Why would you guys even be having those? Why would you guys be talking about black scholars? Why? Why wouldn't you be talking about all your inventors? Why? Where do you get more pride from? You get more pride from people that have, fought in war for you, or you get more inspired by people who teach you something. Lay down a foundation for you to follow. I'm not knocking the soldiers. Like, we just had Memorial Day, and God bless the dead to anybody who picked up a weapon and fought for, their country. I don't have no problem with that. What I'm saying is, it seems like the people that we have, our supposed army, we keep claiming are these criminals. And I'm like, you cannot organize these type of criminals. It's one thing if you start out as organized crime, because even the mafia starts out as families. Always remember that. They lasted the longest. They did the most, and they lasted the longest. Why? Because the police and the feds call it organized crime. They called it families. Am I lying? They literally called them the Gambino family. I'm not Italian. I don't know all the names off the head, but all the names. They're all families. La Cosa Nostra. It's like this is the whole thing. They call themselves familia. You know what I'm saying? It's family. So when you're that tight, it's hard to get infiltrated, and you can last longer. Didn't I tell you guys you were better when you were segregated? Didn't y'all have block parties? Weren't y'all able to borrow sugar from the neighbor? Weren't y'all more tight-knit? Potluck, all that different stuff. One kid in the neighborhood mess up, all the old heads in the neighborhood get a smack in. They all get one hit in. You better, you gonna do that. Y'all don't have that no more. You try to discipline one of these black kids, you damn near might get killed by the parents who ain't no better than the damn kids. You wonder where these kids are learning it from. So, who disorganized us? Who told us they were waking us up and get away from our families? And most of our families just wanted us to do right. You know what I'm saying? They might have told you to go to church and all that, but people be like, oh, no, the devil, you said the preacher fucking boule. Yes, this is true. But who told you you're supposed to fall for the spell that they're teaching? Why wouldn't your parents guide you to tell you to follow the word, break it down? like allegorically. Why wouldn't they tell you that? Why is there no Masons around black people at all? And you can be scared all you want. You keep being a fucking plantation spook nigga all you want. I don't have time to play with you, dumbass. Why don't none of you know any Masonry? From the street blacks to the college educated blacks to the celebrity blacks, why aren't any of you talking about turning lead into gold? And why is your streets getting worse and worse? I didn't say Freemasonry. That's what people keep messing up. When I talk about masonry, I'm not talking about Freemasonry. I'm talking about masonry, the actual building. Why is there none around the black community? None at all. And it seems like the only ones who really still build and deal with agriculture, for some reason, they don't talk that bright. The Southern black still does do business on the ground, the turf. But for some reason, they still have this like behind type of presence. Like if somebody's purposely making them do that. I don't know, whatever. All I'm saying is this. They've been playing you. They've been playing you bad. It's been this long. We still got people like Al Sharpton around. It's been this long. We still got, you know, people like Benjamin Crump being able to just come in after the dead body and just rake up some money. That's not weird. All your rich celebrities, none of them have collaborated to do anything. They just start more drama. Well, look at it like this. If you've seen it live on the news about all this female sport infiltration, drag story time information for elementary students, plus military. And then you think about people talking about they're for the kids, they care, we don't care, we're too strict, we're not loose enough. You gotta be nice to the kids. But these people have the most like gangbangers. If you look at all the Democrat cities, most of them are gang infested. Most of them are. Most of them are drug infested. And I can hear people, oh shit, you act like Republican states don't have drugs. Isn't it zero tolerance normally? In normal red states, zero tolerance on drugs. I'm not saying I'm a saint. I'm saying at the end of the day, how you gonna blame them for crime when they don't seem like they're really, you know, that lenient on crime? People say down south prison numbers are ridiculous. Like the years they'll sentence you. You don't hear about a bunch of people in the south just getting off on stuff. They even hit Young Thug with like 17 years probation. Shit, good luck. They playing you. They playing you because they keep you on compassion and not hard work. You're so mad. Black community, you're so mad that you're not willing to do something about it and not against other people. Other people ain't your problem. Your problem is the collective of yourselves and what you guys keep dogging your head with, what you allow to flood through your mind. A bunch of pacifiers. When y'all watch gang, programming, it's pacifier. When y'all watching, Housewives, it's pacifier. When you watching all this love and hip hop, it's pacifier. You're not getting no real information and you ain't handling no real business. That's why you still talking about racist plights and whining. That's why you do that. Only a person who don't know what to do is going to stay complaining. Person who know what they do and go figure it out. And tell me if I'm lying. Black, white, candy stripe, don't matter who hears this. Ain't always when you know what you're doing, you seem to get quiet. It's only when you don't know what you're doing that you talk a lot because you're trying to gather information. But when you know what you're doing, you're not saying anything. A lot of y'all work with headphones on. You don't even talk to people. Why? Because you know what you're doing. So why y'all so loud in the streets? Arguing and stuff. You just don't know what you're doing. I'm telling you, it's the Boule fault. It's the Boule, it's the Pan-Africans, it's victimhood and whining and no solutions. And they know what the solutions is. It's a black call. If y'all can make black calls to boycott stuff, y'all can make black calls to stop the violence. Anybody doing violence to the people after this day, we have to take you out. It takes police so long to find bodies sometimes. Okay. So ain't nobody a fool. It can be done. I'm not advocating for it. I'm not calling for it. What I'm saying is something has to change. It has nothing to do with rhetoric from other people, how other groups feel. It has to do with knowing that, hey, we weren't the most college enlisted, and we weren't, there was like no sports, no entertainment industry at the time. But we had our own towns, we had our own shops, we had our own business, we had actual things, actual, things of substance, Ain't got to be the best. Adidas has never sold more than Nike, but it's still here. Reebok ain't doing better than Nike, still here. Let them cut off the welfare. Section 8. It'll show who's the weak and who's the strong. A lot of us ain't got no college degrees. A lot of us ain't got no degrees, period. But we float. And not barely getting by. No, we float. We keep moving. Some of y'all have been evading taxes your whole life. How a person on food stamps selling dope on welfare paying taxes? They've never paid that. They're broke. So do some good. It's going to weed out the ones who have been wasting their time. Free this, free that, ignorant violence, not educating yourself. That's why they talk so slow. And that's all around. That's not even just in the South. It's everywhere. Wasting time. Last days ain't never going to come out. The last days aren't here. The old people were talking about that back then. So that meant that they was wrong, even though what they believe in their whole science, not the whole simp being played civil rights stuff. No, the mannerisms, the way they treated each other. Where'd it go? How were they lying about when they said it was the last days? Maybe they just didn't understand what that meant. But no, they had a point. It sure is the last days of those days. Chivalry, courting women. Look at these women is monsters. They don't even want the door open for them. Everybody's a creep. Everybody's a weirdo that doesn't like them. But the person who built the roof that died years ago, they probably would have thought he was a weirdo, but they're glad the roof don't fall on their head. So pretty much the vain person on earth that thinks they look good because they can't get out of the puddle, they can't stop looking at themselves, which stops them from building anything. If you listen to that, you're a rugrat. You're a knucklehead. You know these people don't run nothing. Now, if you listen to the sisters that are in line with the knowledge and the brothers that are out here positively teaching it, then you would know. We are kind of at ground zero. We're literally at the aftermath of not taking heed to fatherly wisdom. Masculinity. I didn't say ignorance. A man can punch a person, a woman can punch a person. A man can stab a person, a woman can stab a person. A man can shoot a person, a woman can shoot a person. All of these have been done before. Nobody can deny them. So it has nothing to do with masculinity in the sense of brutality. Anybody can do it. Animals brutalize animals. The hell that got to do with anything? So it's a state of mind that has been put on the earth, and it is wicked. And who's the beacon of being able to spew stuff out into the world? Who's the only one that's allowed, or they allowed, to spew some of the most foul, wicked, horrific, macabre things? Who do they allow to lyrically do it? Like a mantra, like a song, it's a rhyme. It's not the rock and roll dude. Yeah, he can set a scene of wickedness too. Not like you. You're the storyteller. You bring this shit to people's front room. Literally. You can literally bring death to people's homes by how you kick it. You're talking to people. Spellcasting. You know what I'm saying? Hip hop is something positive. Rap is something totally different. Well, all this wicked stuff that people have been spewing is rap, basically. And what I'm saying is it perfectly, mirrors the devil. It does. For you guys to go from tough, and tough meaning hurting people, robbing people, lying to people, pimping the women. That's what people are scared of. Hip hop. You're talking about murdering people. You're talking about women are bitches. Oh, nobody even talk like this. That's what rap's doing, right? Okay. So who did they allow? Because remember, you went from tough to man persons. Tight clothes. Nobody was talking about all the homo rituals in the entertainment industry back in the 80s and in the 90s. But none of us looked at Dr. Dre. It's not that Eazy-E exposed Dr. Dre. We all knew about the song. If you was around the West Coast, you had heard this song before you turned off the lights. It's like, okay, World Class Wrecking Crew, Mascara. Nobody ever looked at Prince like a gangster. We never looked at Mike like a gangster neither. It's just Mike ran behind the gangsters. It's like Mike fucked with the Crips. He Santana Block. Like, it's weird. It's weird, but it's like he technically is Santana, but he's blessed in. But it's like he's the one who came up with Smooth Criminal. He's the one wearing the suits, doing the mafia gangster shit. It's like Prince wasn't on that. A lot of people wasn't. So I'm saying imagery is imagery, but it's like we can understand why Mike was able to pull it off, because he actually was like affiliated. He was initiated to an actual set. But I'm not praising that. because he's an entertainer. And like I said, we didn't know about all this gay stuff that was going on. So now you have to look at those two artists and say something that, well, nigga, maybe it wasn't just a fad. Maybe they was turning everybody out in the 80s. That's why all them dudes was hella flamboyant. All the rock stars, they was all gay looking. The Charlie Murphy True Hollywood Stories, he like, bro, y'all say y'all tough from LA, bro. If you was there in the early 80s, y'all was like on some weird shit. And it's like 70s, the disco. Johnny Goshik. I was in the 70s. There's a lot of shit that didn't happen, man. And there's a lot of shit that's still going on. So I say all that to say this. They've been playing you. They've been playing y'all out there, having y'all not knowing which way to go. You don't know if you want to be revolutionary or if you just want to be thug. Y'all don't want to fly straight. That's the only thing y'all are super negative about. You think that's white. Talking proper is white. Showing up to work on time is white. Doing the right thing is white. You know what I'm saying? That's how y'all look at it. Be honest, Negroes. Be honest. Niggas, blacks, Indians, whatever you want to call yourself. Be honest. You think everything that is good to the society is white. You such a lost Mason that you still are playing the game that you created and not even realizing that you're playing it. Why do you keep associating proper with white? Why do you keep doing that? Oh, you don't talk black, you talk white. What do you mean by that? Well, you don't say the same. You weren't allowed to read, right? So who taught you your onomatopoeias? How do you talk the way that you talk? Where'd you get that from? Okay. Before words is vibration. Always remember that. So you want to keep associating proper and good and straight with white people or white. Why are you doing that? Like, you guys are literally in that tomb. You in that tomb asleep. You need to wake up. You're in a critical time. And it's actually not a bad time. It's a good time, but it's bad if you're asleep. If you're asleep, this is a bad time. Because so much is about to change. It's not going to be the same anymore. It's not going to be the same anymore. That ship has sailed. The whole being ignorant on purpose ship has sailed, especially when you're saying things. Forget racism in the past. No. Why do you keep associating proper things with white? Why do you do that? When you talk about black excellence, you're not talking about showing up to work on time. You're not. You're not talking about saluting the nation's flag that you live in. You're not. You're going to come up with a bunch of runaround stories, but you're going to keep associating it with white. That's where you messed up. It's your spell. You're the light being, but you guys are in the darkness. You sleep. So you keep falling for the sleep spell, courtesy of the Boule. Always remember, it's a guy from Barbados who's got a French mom who they're calling a black person in history and a European dad. But he's the leader of the African Lodge. And he the one free that they got walking around here. And this is before they set the slaves free. Slaves is free in 1865. He got his own lodge in 1784. But no, you don't believe me and Judge Joe Brown about J. Edgar Hoover. You got to realize that you're being led by wicked people, and they keep you race baiting, and they keep you victimhooding, and they keep you weak. You gotta get away from them. You ain't gotta look up to white people. You ain't gotta look up to black Republicans. You ain't gotta do nothing like that. What you gotta do is start using your brain while you here. Because I know you think your one fucking, dollar ain't nothing. But if the fundraiser is for $1 million and they get $1 million, that's $1 million. Strength is in numbers. We gotta get more people on the right track. Like, there's too much flutter. Too many people are worried about things that really don't matter right now. What matters is picking a side. And it's not about race. It's about either ignorance or knowledge. It's about death or life. It really is. Like, that's really what it's about. You know what I'm saying? Have your fun, but think at the same time. Always think.